Hello and welcome to Combat COVID-19 Community Support. We are so glad that you've joined us this evening for Table Talk. We have a group of fantastic Central Oregon residents and a special guest tonight, and they're going to be talking all things COVID-19. Should I stay or should I go? But before we get started, just a little bit about us. We are an informal coalition of healthcare providers and other community leaders that are working together to bring you these live events to really keep you and your family safe during the pandemic. And we're funded by the Central Oregon Health Council. Before we jump right into the panel tonight, really quickly, you should know that this is provided for educational and informational purposes only. It's not offered as medical advice or medical opinions. If you do have a mental health or medical concern, please talk to your healthcare provider. And with that, I am super excited to hand it over to the Table Talk crew. And we definitely want you participating. If you're joining us live on Facebook or YouTube, please chat in the chat box and we'll be getting to your comments and questions. And I think we might even have a giveaway and a question of the night tonight. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kevin Shaw.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Table Talk. It's so good to be back. We had such a rich and deep discussion last week that we're going to continue it. This is part 2. And who knows, maybe there'll be a part 3. I think this thing just keeps going. And the topic tonight is, should I stay or should I go? And so before we get started, we'll do a quick introduction. I'm Kevin Shaw. I'm a counselor. I'm bald by choice. And I have 3 brothers named Brian. And I'll go ahead and kick it over to Shilo.
Hi, guys. I'm Shilo Tippet. I'm a psychologist in Madras from Warm Springs, Oregon, originally. Angela?
Oh, hello. My name is Angela Ahmed. I'm here, a local resident here in Bend for 21 years, happily married for 28, mother of 4, recent graduate of OSU, prior business owner, and looking forward to going into the human service world. And glad to be here. Jerome?
All right, I'm Jerome Johnson, and I am a general contractor. I live here in Bend, and I specialize in floor covering and carpet installations, but things have been a little slow. So if somebody has something else they want done, let me know, and then I'll decide if I'm willing or capable of doing that. So anyway, it's good to be here. And how about Jenn?
So we have Jenn tonight visiting with us. Jenn Pesko is a sole proprietor here in Bend, Oregon, in Central Oregon, and she has a shop in downtown Bend. The part of the discussion that we left off was, should I stay or should I go, was, Warm Springs is having, people are contracting COVID-19. There was a gathering, and then they haven't had 14 days where the number's been decreasing in a row. And at the same time, there's been a lot of people that have said, hey, I think we need to get the party started here. There's been, people demonstrating in Redmond. And then there's, we wanted to hear from small business owners and kind of hear what's going on with, how they're experiencing this and, and what their perspective is. And so Jenn Pesko is a family friend. We both have seniors in high school. They've been friends for a long time, played basketball together. And so we've been affected by this from a lot of different standpoints. But Jenn in particular is joining us to tell us a little bit about herself and also to kind of share her perspective. But Jenn, why don't you tell us about yourself a little bit?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. So as you know, my name is Jenn Pesko. I've been in Bend 16 years, 18 and 20-year-old. So I also have a student, a sophomore at U of O, who had to leave her sorority house. That can be devastating for a kid. And my boy, like Kevin's son, is trying to graduate and trying to have a normal life there. I have a shop in downtown Bend, and it supports myself. I'm an artist. And then I support 10 local artists in the shop. So my business is called Just a Little Charm. And then my shop is called the Bend Handmade Gallery. It has been closed since March 20th. And it's pretty much devastated all of us. I also travel to art shows all over the Northwest and California. And to date, all of my shows are canceled through June. We're anticipating July and beyond. Who knows how far this is going to go. So yeah, affected in many, many ways. Financially, my family's affected, everything. Yeah, it's not good, but I'm eager to open.
Yeah.
With Governor Brown's guidelines. I think she's doing a fantastic job. This is a tough thing to do. And, there's a lot of people protesting and I get that. But, somebody has to take the lead. And I think the governors of most states are doing a really good job, including Kate Brown.
Jenn, thanks a lot. We look forward to kind of having you join us in this discussion. But we actually have a trivia question where we're going to get to, Jenn is going to have something from her shop to share with us. The trivia question is, which 1992 hit song includes the lyrics, "Mother, Mother, tell your children that their time has just begun"? And, Jenn, tell us a little bit about what somebody's going to win if they get the answer right. And to win this, you have to type the answer into the chat, either off YouTube or Facebook. So, Jenn, tell us what you got there.
Okay, so my business, Just a Little Charm, I've been in business 9 years. I've had my shop for 5 years. My primary material is the salvaged copper flashing from the old Ben Bulletin building. So I've connected with a lot of people in the 9 years that I've been around. A lot of people used to work in that old building. A lot of people just know me. My things are funny, can be quite crass. I do personalized things. So tonight, what I'm offering, this is about, I'm going to try and show you. It has the three sisters on it. It's a piece of copper that I stamped. I had this stamp made, and this goes on a jacket zipper or a wallet zipper, keychain. It can go on anything. It's already lasted since 1965 on the side of a building, so it's going to last a long time on your jacket or your wallet. And then I have all kinds of these down in my shop with different mountains, our local mountains, and phrases and super fun stuff. So I'm happy to hand this off to whoever wins tonight.
Awesome.
That's
And
so pretty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just so everybody can hear this, what's the name of your store and where is it located?
So there's two signs on the shop. My business, personal business, and my studio is in there called Just a Little Charm. Not a lot of charm. You don't want to overdo the charm. And then the shop itself is called the Ben Handmade Gallery. And as I said, there's 10 local artists in there. It's on the corner of Oregon Ave and Brooks Alley, kitty corner from the Pine Tavern. And it's just the cutest little building at the end, right next to Blue Star Salon behind Silverado. And all the downtown businesses, we're all friends. We all support each other, including right now. People have been calling each other to help us get through filing for unemployment, which has been a challenge, self-employed people. So yeah, downtown corridor has been awesome. And the Ben community has also been really awesome through this. So thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Jenn.
And Kevin, do you mind stating the trivia question one more time for those that have just joined us?
Yes, and I'll be happy to give you a visual hint at the same time.
Can you sing it instead of just read it? Could you sing it maybe?
No, I have. Which 1992 hit song includes the lyrics, "Mother, Mother, tell your children that their time has just begun"? So picking up from last week, where we landed was, what is it going to take for us to feel comfortable to go outside and get a massage or a facial? It's kind of just a question that we're throwing out there as a temperature, to take your temperature. What do you have to see? So let's start there, and then we'll circle around. But I'm curious, and what I mean by this is what do you need to see before you're willing to go to a shop, and go shopping, or what do you feel comfortable, when will you feel comfortable going back to the way things were before? What do you need to see? Jerome, why don't you kick us off, get us started?
Well, what I'd like to see or hear is just some leadership that is straightforward and that can, give some guidance that is trustworthy and that I can be confident in. There's so much media that it's hard to really trust, what to think. So I kind of got to go by my own instincts there. For now, I guess I wouldn't be comfortable going anywhere without my protective mask and my hand sanitizer in my vehicle. I would go into a shop and look around and I guess I'm just still at the point of still using the protective gear to be out in public. I just don't have enough positive information to make me feel any different. Yeah. So what do you others think? How about you, Shilo?
Oh, wow. Well, feels like a little different question. Like, what do we need to feel safe rather than are we ready to come out of the house from last week? But I need to see some really smart decisions from people in the community. Like just before the show, I went out driving around in Madras, and there are a huge bunch of people out at the park. It's a beautiful day, right? But there's a huge crowd playing basketball and some on the playground. And that's what I need to see to want to stay home, is people doing things like that, because we do not have it under wraps yet. I also feel like we need an ample supply of protective gear like masks and hand sanitizer. It's important, I think, to recognize the kind of class variables that come into play. So some people cannot afford to just run out and buy a bunch of masks and hand sanitizer and gloves, and they're set. There's a disproportionate amount of people who are not able to stay safe right now. So those are my main things, is I have to see other people making really good choices, and that everyone, regardless of their income or status or location where they live, that everyone is able to have the things they need to stay safe. Like small businesses cannot afford to go out and buy tons of sanitizing equipment and hand sanitizers for people to come in the store, that kind of thing. I think there needs to be some equity for people. That's what comes to mind. I'm interested in what Angela has to say.
Thank you, Shilo. I think for myself and my family, we're looking more to like actual proof and time, because everything's so relative right now. Really, what is the proof? How much time do we need? If we go shopping, is the mask, what kind of mask is that really protecting us? At first it was at the 2 feet, or now it's 6 feet. Are we going to find out later it's 12 feet? Or, is it what type of flu and how much of the flu? So again, I think just what proof exactly, the time, vaccines, of course, that's a whole new subject all on its own. But what's in a vaccine? Do we want that injected in our arm? So, again, just looking to the proof of what the government and what our society will put into what's going on. Mm-hmm.
Jen, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this?
I've felt pretty comfortable going out to date. I do have a couple of masks. We actually sell masks at my shop. One of my artists is making them like crazy. I feel like if a mask is what's appropriate, and I think any kind of mask, even a cotton mask, is going to protect you somewhat, or protect someone else if the fluid isn't floating through the air. My particular shop, I can easily regulate how many people can be allowed in. I'm happy to provide a hand sanitizer pump. I think, I've been out a fair bit during this time on trails, et cetera. And I think the awareness on trails people's trail etiquette has been really fantastic. So people are aware. There's definitely a high awareness. I think getting people back into the shops wearing masks and doing the hand sanitizers is appropriate. I am a little nervous allowing so many tourists to come into town from so many places right away. I think we need a little more time for that. And the tourists are my bread and butter. I mean, my community supports me, but the tourists is what really gets me through. So I'm a little wary of having the hotel. I guess you can stay in a hotel, but you can't stay in an Airbnb. I've been downtown almost every day, and the last 2 days, downtown has been packed with cars. And I don't know why. I don't see the people out there, but there's definitely action. And I see there's a hotel that I drive by, the Ben Suites, I think, and that's full of cars. So I think people are coming and just trying to get outside and do their thing. That's what I'm most worried about. Our community overall, I feel, is pretty safe because our numbers are so low. But it's the tourist industry that could potentially put us in harm's way. That's what I think about that, Kevin.
Yeah. What I'm hearing, I hear a lot of what you guys are saying. A common theme is we'd like to have some definitive facts, like to see some definitive action. There's, I think that, some leadership and, but I think that the thing that comes to my mind is the idea that the idea of flattening the curve, what that means, I wonder if we've really forgotten what that means. Flatten the curve, what it means is that you're going to get it. It's just we need to spread it out so that the resources don't get overused, right? So when I was first explained social distancing, and believe me, I have no opinion. I'm undecided. I'm not trying to, I don't have, but when it was first explained to me, there was this graph that showed that quarantine was not the best approach towards this. It was actually social distancing. And I'm wondering if you guys see those as two different things. Because for me, I've kind of just jumbled it all together, because social distancing is to flatten the curve, which means slow it down. And whereas quarantine, really the strategy is let it die and completely go away, right? And then we can all come out. Now, I prefer that. Like, I think that would be great if I knew it's gone. Like, everybody go into your house, do not leave for 2 weeks, right? And then we know it's gone. Everybody stay in their state, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm just oversimplifying, right? Mm-hmm. But the process of social distancing is really kind of, I always wonder if people really understand what that means. Is like, there's going to be people that have it that are walking around, and we're all going to get it slowly, and there'll be enough ventilators to go around. Is anybody else seeing it like that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Shilo, you're laughing over there. What are your thoughts?
I thought Dawn had something to say. Did you, Dawn?
Oh, Dawn? Yeah, Dawn.
Yeah, thanks, Shilo. We have a comment from one of our audience members that I wanted to make sure to get in while we were still on that subject. So Laura said, as a massage therapist, I don't think we are ready for that type of service yet. We can't maintain the social distancing and the new findings of blood clots, which is contraindicated for massage. So just wanted to get that in. Thanks, Laura, for your comment. And if you're joining us live on Facebook or YouTube, please type your comments into the chat box and we'll get to them.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thanks, Laura, for commenting on that. I'm very disappointed that I can't get a massage.
Especially from Laura. I happen to know she's really good. So,
Really?
Yeah, you have to look her up when you're ready, when we're ready.
We're ready.
I kind of have more questions. Kevin, what do you mean? Like, do we understand what social distancing mean? I wasn't sure. Can you explain that more?
Yeah, obviously, and I'm glad you pointed that out. But the assumption behind the social distancing is that it's going to continue to spread. It's just going to spread at a slower rate. Am I reading that wrong? Did I get that wrong? Or is this really this idea that, I don't know, that to me is what it seems like it's saying, is that flatten the curve is slow it down. It isn't make it go away.
Right.
Okay, so then the question I have is, and the question I ask myself is do I believe I'm going to get it someday?
Yeah.
I think I probably will if we're all going to do this. Mm-hmm. So, and what do you guys think? Do you think you're going to get it someday?
I think I already had it.
Oh.
So and I can, do the date to the very days of having it. I don't know. I didn't get tested. Wasn't hospitalized. But a lot of people got it or got sick in the beginning of March that I've talked to. And, how do I know? I was exposed to an awful lot of people, and if they were to test me and I tested, yes, you did have it. Where were you? And I'll say, well, I was downtown at my shop, and I was out at music, and I was out, not during the main part of being sick. I couldn't do anything at all during that time. So I wonder how many people have already had it. And that's, that some blood test is supposed to be coming out. But yeah, the social distancing, that's going to work for us. The herd immunity, which is what everyone's talking about now. Yes, Kevin, you're probably going to get it. I may have had it, or I'm probably going to get it. I have compromised people in my family. I don't want them to get it, but I think that most of us will. So, but flattening the curve at least allows enough ventilators for anyone who has it at the moment to get the proper treatment. That's where I read flattening the curve. Was don't overwhelm the hospital systems when they don't have enough resources. Mm-hmm. So we all stayed home. We'll get it at a slower rate. But yeah, I think a lot of us are going to get it if we haven't had it already.
So what's going to happen now is what I'm wondering, where people are definitely already flocking out, and they shouldn't be, because that wasn't what Governor Brown was saying. It's like, let's start to think about this process, but people took that as a green light. So what's going to happen now? I'm afraid we're going to get a lot of really sick people. Like I think we're going to get another burst, and which is okay probably for some of us, but what about the other people? So I'm just curious what's going to happen now, because people, as could be predicted, right, they are taking this as the green light that go ahead and get started now. Right. And I know Jen has seen good etiquette hiking. I did not see good etiquette hiking. And I think it depends on probably where you are and how busy it is and what people are there. But I'm just expecting possibly that we're going to have this burst of really sick people, because people aren't taking it seriously still.
Right. Do you feel like, what percentage chance do you feel like that you're going to end up getting it, Shilo?
God, I don't know. It depends. It depends if I'm going to have to go back into the hospital and work, or if I get to stay at home. It'll depend on, how many people are being careful when we do have to go to the grocery store. Yeah. So I think it just depends. I have some control over that if I decide to keep my spatial distance. I definitely think we should call it spatial distancing, not social, because what we have seen is so many people have become more social and getting creative with reaching out. So spatial distancing, if I can control it as much as possible, then I can at least protect myself a little bit more. Right. Yeah, so I can't give you a percentage.
So you think it's possible, though? You think it's possible that you could get it? It's just you're because that's kind of what I was getting at is flattening the curve. Do people have they internalized the idea that I may get it? And I wonder, so it sounds like you're saying I may get it, but I think I can also fight it and keep from getting it.
Yeah. I mean, I have a family member who was extraordinarily careful. Like, I consider myself a pretty efficient germaphobe, but this person surpasses me, and they ended up getting it in their family. And so I think, of course, you're going to be at risk because you're bound to walk through air that someone just walked through, or you're bound to touch something. And so, of course, people are going to get it. And yeah, flattening the curve is the idea, is it's going to be there, but we want to slow the rate in which people get it. Like that meme I saw it on Facebook, releasing us all from staying at home doesn't mean the virus is gone. It means we finally have room for you at the hospital. I love that meme. That is so true.
Right. And I'm curious, Angela, do you think that someday you're going to end up getting it?
Yeah, I think it's like the influenza. I think all of us are going to get the flu, but I mean, we're going to get the virus. I think part of the complement to flattening the curve is we're going to raise that line by increasing the healthcare system, but we have to kind of go the other end. I think that's what our system's trying to do, is prepare for it, just like we prepared for the influenza. So yeah, I think I'll get it. I just feel I'm hoping I'll be young enough that I'll be able to combat it, and I'm hoping that we'll have adequate, that the ones that are in risk of it will definitely be able to. We'll find different cures that they'll be able to combat it too.
I see.
So,
I see.
Yeah.
Jerome, how about you? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that it seems like it's kind of inevitable that we may all get it, but it's not a guarantee. I kind of hope not in some ways. I mean, I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm not as young as I wish I was. But on the other hand, I feel extremely healthy, very strong. I think that I will be able to fight the good fight and fight it off. So I guess just time will tell, but that'll be another battle, just like this battle that we have to undertake by doing the spatial distancing and so on. And but you can't expect or that the rest of society, that everybody else is going to act responsibly. It sounds like everybody in this conversation here tries to act responsibly, but those are the people that you have to look out for. And I even have some friends that I've had some conversations with that are just very stubborn about, I'm not going to wear a mask. Oh, I think it's just not that big of a deal. And, it's kind of disturbing, because this, these are friends. And so I just got to keep my distance there as well. As far as another thing that was kind of brought up about, tourists in town, and that's another danger, because the virus can come from other areas. Just next door to where I live, there's a triplex building, and it's typically like a vacation rental type place, although sometimes they rent it out for a month or two. But there's 3 vehicles there, and one's from Texas, one's from Colorado, and one's from Arizona. And I don't know any of these people because they're just, and I don't know if they're going to be here for a while or a short time. And I just keep my distance from them, and not such a friendly neighbor to them. But they'll they're temporary. They won't be lifelong friends. But I don't want to go shake their hand. I wouldn't do that. So I think we just got to do the best we can to protect ourselves and stay healthy and think of others, and just be kind and think of other people. It's, not just, what do I got to do to isolate, protect myself? What can I do to make other people's lives better as well, by being safe, so that's what I think about it.
Thanks, Jerome. I wanted to, since we have Jenn here with us, I really wanted to get an idea of what it's like to be a business owner right now. And,
oh my gosh.
And what are you doing to cope, and what are other business owners doing right now?
Yeah. So what I know, me personally, I have a trickle of website orders, which is great. I never usually get that much off my website. So that's sustaining. I've only received an EIDL loan, or I think that's just a forgivable thing. I'm my own employee, so I only got the one. Haven't received anything else. I've applied for everything. My landlord is amazing, and he has cut our rent dramatically. So that's going to keep us alive. So he owns all the way through Hub Cyclery and down Oregon Avenue. His family's owned those buildings for decades. And so he's been amazing. And I was interviewed by someone on the news, and they said, well, are you going to keep your shop? And I said, yes, absolutely. It's all I have. I have my road show. I have my shop. That's my livelihood. I'm a sole proprietor. So I'm going to do everything in my power to pay that rent. And luckily, and I think a lot of landlords downtown, not all, but a lot of them that I've talked to, their rent has been dramatically cut. Certainly the retail people. So I'm super grateful for that. And, I've never lived so close to the bone in my entire life. I'll go and have a series of shows in a row and have a bunch of cash and a bunch of credit card money in my bank account. And I'll, live large and go out and do what I want. And so I have never lived so tight in my life. And it's been a fascinating process to really look at it and say, I have a housemate and she's still gainfully employed. And she'd be like, I'm going to go get a burrito. And I'm like, not me. I'm going to eat whatever's in the fridge. So, I think a lot of people are just living close to the bone. And that affects me as well, because when people get back out there who've been financially affected by this, are they going to have extra income to spend on what I call is a luxury item? I mean, I'm a luxury item. My shop, everything in there is albeit not luxurious, but it's art, and it's not always at the forefront, especially when people are financially strapped. So not sure what the future looks like. I think shows are going to return under new guidelines, and I'd be traveling to other states. That is concerning for me as well, right? In July, I'm supposed to be in Washington twice. And if the shows go on by then, I think I will risk it and go. Do I think the people are going to come out? I think some will. I think some will still be apprehensive. And so it's uncertain, but I fully intend to get my awesome life back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell us what kind of, when was the moment that you realized that, okay, my business is not going to prosper now? Like, when did that hit for you?
That was March 15th when restaurants closed. Maybe I was in denial. Like, that could never happen. That can't happen. There's too many. So on March 15th, when the restaurants shut down, and then all non-essential businesses were right on the heels of that, I thought, wow, okay, this is really happening. So that's when it came to me that I'm going to have to close. But the whole time, I've had some tearful days, but I'm in touch with so many other local business people, and not even local, like all over the place. There's a West Coast artisans page, and all of us are freaking out that our shows, and I come out of my tearful moments and say, I know it's not just me. So we're going to get through it, and we can't collapse the economy. I know it's going to trickle back. It might be hard. It might be a few years before it's back to normal. But I think the most important thing is knowing that I'm not alone, that, the salon next door, all of those people, they're closed. My own hairstylist, everybody is pretty much frozen in time. In fact, Jerome, I was curious how you feel being a contractor. I have a friend who's a contractor, and he's been working a ton, but in vacant homes, which has been great for him. Are you apprehensive about going into people's spaces?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. My work has actually kind of slowed down a little bit, but when I do work in people's homes where there is a customer there, I communicate up front and say, okay, I'm going to be there, so let's practice social distancing, and I'll wear my mask when I get there, and then I just request that they leave or go to the other side of the house while I'm doing my work. And there's also some empty units. A lot of some of my clients are property management companies, and I'll go in where there's a vacant home, and of course then there's no trouble there. But I think my particular niche, being carpet and flooring installation, it's a little bit less of a urgent thing. It's a little, people can say, well, my carpet's a little ratty, but they can live with it for a while, Whereas if, for example, if your bidet malfunctioned, you would call a plumber right away. And so the plumber is going to be more essential than a flooring installer, for example, but there are, I have gotten through the Construction Contractors Board a list of safe practices for contractors. And, on big construction sites, there's a long list of rules. I won't go through all of them, of course, but, so many workers in so many square feet type things. You just keep your distance from one another, which can be successful. except that construction workers are kind of like, 7th grade boys, they're not very, responsible and obedient, but, you have to try your best to get along. So, but yeah, it's a challenge. I'm hoping my work will pick up. I got one call today I got a new client today to do some work. So I have enough to keep me personally happy. So
Good for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, Jen, can I ask you, I know my friend who works in the beauty industry has applied for a lot of those different types of loans to help sole proprietors and small businesses, but has come across many stumbling blocks and lots of delays to get those loans that won't necessarily have to be paid back. Are you having difficulties with that too, or not qualifying? Because she's like, yeah, but I don't even qualify for some. It just seems so hard. So are you coming across that also?
Yes. So first and foremost, I don't qualify for unemployment. I'm a single member LLC. And people keep saying, well, don't you pay yourself? And I said, well, all the money's mine. So yeah, I pay my taxes quarterly and I don't pay into unemployment. So I knew that. I was advised to just keep doing a weekly claim. And then the PUA came out. And I immediately got on the salon next door. She called me and got me dialed in for that. I haven't seen anything. I just get denials from unemployment. I just got the one EIDL, which was for a single member was $1,000. Yeah. And then I applied for the PPP. All I have is my Schedule C to show income. So, and I'm not even asking for that much. I joke, my acupuncture friend could potentially get 70,000, and I'm going to get 13. I'm like, they should just hand me that in cash. That's no big deal, right? And then my stimulus check, because I don't get refunds, has to come in the mail. Because, right, they don't have my bank information. So I tried to put my bank information in at the irs.gov, and it's something with my numbers that I put in doesn't match. So I just gave up. I'll take it in the mail. That's fine. What else was there to apply for? I think that's it. And so I've just gotten the one thing, and it's, you try and call unemployment, and I tried 500 times one day. I actually posted it. I'm like, my phone only goes up to 200, but I'm on round 3, and it just doesn't even connect.
No, I called from my husband. We called 1,021 times between both of us. So yeah, I get it.
Oh my God.
And you never get through.
We didn't. We ended up going online. After the show, I can give you how we reach them online.
Okay.
There is an online way, and you send them a message through the email, and they did respond. So yes, but yeah, you're right, totally.
Yeah, WorkSource Bend has been the only people that have gotten back to me pretty quickly. They have most, if not all, been reassigned to do unemployment. So I called WorkSource, this was several weeks ago, and a woman called me back and processed my claim while I was on the phone with her. I got rejected, but local people have been so helpful. So that's been an amazing resource, just to get through some of the frustrations.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, pretty much roadblocks all around.
All right. No, she's been dealing with the same thing. So I'm just curious, as a sole proprietor, it's like, wow. I
never thought I needed to be paying myself a salary of my, hindsight's 2020, right? That's like the perfect statement.
Yes.
Yeah. We can't wait until this is hindsight. So yeah, roadblocks, left and right. I at least have food on the table, and my mortgage, I'm not going to get behind on, at least right now. And I really feel for people that are living too tight, and, something like this happens, and they can't get any help from anybody.
And do you have an online business now, Jen?
I do. I've always had a website.
Okay.
It's just got more traffic now, which is great. Yeah. And people are calling me, and I'm posting on my social media like crazy.
Yeah. Maybe Kevin can put that online. So Mother's Day's coming.
Mother's Day's coming. I put a call your mom charm. I posted a call your mom charm.
Yes.
I got a phone call today. So, just keeping awareness. I did join SOS Bend, which launched yesterday. And they raised something like $100,000 yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, for all the businesses. I didn't get much out of it, but I'm sure there was some awareness because my logo was right there and people who know me. And who knows in the coming days, I kind of have a feeling we're going to be opening up maybe next week. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and I don't know how, at least that's what the salon owners are, and I've read some things, restaurants, the owner of the Pine Tavern says he's going to open on the 15th. We're like, well, how do you know?
Jump
Where
in
are you
here
getting
real
that?
quick. Don, you had something you were going to say. Did you have the comment?
Yeah, we actually have quite a few comments from our audience members. So I wanted to make sure they had a chance to get in on all this. So we have Lisa joining us from Bend who says, these people are great. Good reception. The guest speaker, meaning you, Jen, is rocking it. And she said that she's going to go to your shop, either online or in person when you open.
Right.
We also have Lisa joining us, and she was laughing really hard and said amen to your comment about Jerome about contractors being more like 7th grade boys. We also have Linda joining us from Montana who says, me too, hairdresser, mask is a must. Don't close encounter with coworkers and try harder to be safe when they are able to reopen. We also have Laura commenting, agreeing that unemployment is a huge mess right now. And we also have Tiffany joining us from Portland, Oregon. So thanks to all our audience members. Keep the questions and comments coming.
Don, did anybody have an answer for our trivia question?
Oh, that's actually a really good question, Kevin. So I have not seen any answer, what I believe to be answers, but let's see. I'm going to go back up.
I think Laura had one, I think.
Yeah. So Laura said you gave it away. Keep the faith.
Is that right, Kevin?
Is that right?
But who's the singer though? Who's the singer?
We haven't gotten it. So let's just state the question
Oh,
again.
okay. Hold on a second. That's right.
And let's give folks a chance to chime in.
It is which 1992 hit song?
Yes, that's what I thought.
That's right.
So is Laura correct then?
Keep the faith. Yes, it is.
Okay, we have a winner. Excellent.
Yay!
Awesome.
Nice.
I have this for you. Was she the one who was going to come into my shop anyway?
Yes.
Perfect. I can either curbside pick up or you.
No, I'm so sorry. No, that was Lisa. Laura is someone else. So how can they get in contact with you to claim their prize?
So you can find me at my contact info as well at justalittlecharm.com. And you can click contact there. I can either mail it to you, or if you're in Bend, I can drop it off, or you can pick it up and take a peek in the shop. No one's really coming in right now.
What's your website again, Jen?
At www.jusalittlecharm.com. And it's Just a Little Charm on Facebook and Just a Little Charm on Instagram. So people can find me. Yeah, my phone number, my website, my email is jen@justalittlecharm.com. And I'm happy to pass this along and bring a smile to somebody.
Awesome. Hey, Matt, how are we dealing with traffic out there?
Yes, we are doing well with traffic. Traffic is backed up over on Purcell and it's not Purcell. What is it? It's Broster House and oh my gosh, I just now completely forgot. You guys are throwing me. You guys are throwing me for so much tonight that it's just been. It's just been fun more than anything else. You know, I am horrible at traffic. Let me just say that. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Can you do helicopter sounds?
No, I can't do it tonight. I'm not. No, the helicopter is just it's crashed. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Matt,
so well, for those people that's me. See, hi. See, you can see I'm not up in a helicopter. Hi, there you go.
I know I had to go down to Chutes Market Road all the way by the airport because I couldn't get through 27th and Butler Market. So,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah.
Madras traffic.
Yeah.
Madras traffic is clear. I know that.
Very good.
It's always clear, really.
Yeah.
So. It's pretty clear.
I love going in through Madras and seeing the mountains. They always remind me of King Kong and those gates for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? I know.
I don't. I
With
just
Jeff
want.
Bridges, the King Kong with Jeff Bridges. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Remember?
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful. It is beautiful.
I know. I love it. Yeah. Beautiful.
Well, I appreciate the spirited discussion that we've had today. Jenn, thank you so much for joining us. Let's do a round robin of things we want to say to folks that may be listening, and then we'll kick it over to Don. I'll start. Just wanted to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you, Jerome, Shilo, Jenn, Angela. It's always good talking to you guys. I hope you guys will all have a great evening. And Jerome?
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, I think if individually, if we keep being responsible, be a good example to others, it may help slow this thing down, and be responsible out there. Even the 7th grade construction site guys, learn to get along for a change out there, and just be kind to one another, and things will get better. Thank you. Angela?
Yes, I would say too. I would say, hey guys, be kind and be patient. There's just a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people are having difficulties right now, being isolated. People with addictions, mentally, physically, emotionally. So just put on your happy spirit and just be kind to one another. And thank you for listening. And Shilo.
Kevin, are we going to do our small business shout outs too? We can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I forgot about that. I feel like go for it, Shilo.
Well, first I just wanted to share, Jenn, your talking tonight was so really touching and good. I was thinking about the research with people who seek counseling services with psychologists or therapists. And research has shown that people who don't pay anything for their service for getting counseling value it quite a bit less than people who actually pay for their services, even if it's just $1 or $2. People who pay for the services tend to value it a lot more. And I'm just thinking of our culture, how it's so easy to go to Amazon to buy a really cute necklace, or it's so easy to go to a really fast food restaurant instead of ordering from a local business. And what I really hope is that people just completely bombard your shop and other small businesses because we appreciate more that value because we have missed it. I totally miss the small businesses in our community in a way I would have never imagined. So I'm hoping that happens, that the behavior and what we know about people's behavior is they'll more than likely come out of this time with seeking that handmade, that very special gift that they can't find somewhere else. Thank you. So I have 2 shout outs today, small businesses. The first one is where I get my sweetgrass and my white sage to smudge, which I do every morning, sometimes multiple times a day, depending on the day. But I get that at the Warm Springs Market in Warm Springs, Oregon. A lot of people say things like, are we allowed to go on the reservation? And the answer is totally yes. There are parts you're not, that it's only for tribal members, but this store has awesome things. And it also has the best bubblegum selection. You wouldn't believe it. And probably hot chips selection as well. But I know the bubblegum because I looked high and low for bubblegum for a research project. My daughter did, and theirs was outstanding. And so that's the Warm Springs Market. And then the other one is Ripque here in Madras. They do like car decals, banners, all kinds of great things. But I just had a canvas done through them. They work extremely quickly. They have a personal design person there that can add a good touch to your work. And they're very affordable. So those are my 2 small business shout outs.
Okay. Anybody else have any business shout outs before we wrap it up?
I actually do. Yeah. Well, right. Okay. Well, Jenn, thank you too. I didn't say thank you, but yeah, I definitely will go on your site too. But I actually have Rockin' Dave's, which I love his bagels, and his food is amazing. He's really good, and he's right across from the next place I love, which is the Reptile Zone. My son has a snake, which I'm not too happy about, but he does get his food from there. But the owner there just brings out the snake. He's so wonderful with the kids there. It's amazing. It's just, and he just is amazing there. So 2 great local businesses. Thank you. Jen?
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for having me. It's nice to connect with other people on different levels. I want to say, you know, we're going to get through this, and there's going to be a new normal. And whatever that looks like, it's going to be great, right? We're just going to adapt to it, and it's going to be a new normal. We're all going to be tidier and, you know, cleaner than we've ever been. And I just hope people can embrace that as quickly as possible, whether it's masks or whatever it happens to be. So anyway, I would love to shout out to the Ben store. Delia Payne has been my business roommate down on Oregon Ave for the entire 5 years. She has her studio down there and has moved the Ben store up to Wall Street. So she's got 2 different rents to pay there. She has awesome products. She's an awesome human being. And then Blue Star Salon, which is right next door to my shop. Lonnie, the owner there, has done everything to help me fill out forms and called me, and they're just, and all the girls over there are awesome. My own stylist, Alicia at Jazzba. I can't wait to see you. So thanks for having me, you guys.
Awesome.
All right. I guess one place that I like to get to-go food from is Jackson's Corners, just up the street from my house. And they have a great menu. I like their salads, you know, so that's another excellent choice to order online or call and get and pick up, you know. And I guess I'd like to say one more thing is a little disclosure here. I'm a sober guy. I've been completely clean and sober for over 21 years. I know a lot of people may be kind of afraid right now, or they might be struggling because of all this extra pressure that's going on. And, you know, you don't have to be afraid. There's help out there. Contact your local health department, or there's hotlines for Alcoholics Anonymous and other things of that nature, and counseling places that you know you can contact to get some help. You don't have to be afraid, and it is going to get better, you know. So keep the faith.
Thanks.
And I don't know if any of you have any contact information for people in situations like that in the counseling realm. You may have some information about that.
We do, and what we can do is between now and next week, I think we can put something together for this program as well. If you are wondering, hey, how do I find this information out? You can dial 211 on your phone and ask, and it will give you all the resources and information in the area. So we're going to wrap this up next week. Behind the Curtain is going to be our topic. And with that, we'll kick it over to Don. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, Kevin, Shilo, Jerome, Angela, and our special guest tonight, Jen. Thanks for that discussion. I do want to do a small business shout out to Bonta, which has the most amazing gelato ever. I had some espresso and brownies tonight before the broadcast, which was really delicious and woke me up. So now I'm good to go. So yes, thank you again, everyone, for joining us tonight on Facebook and YouTube. All of these events are also recorded and available. We would invite you to join us for, we have a whole great lineup of live events next week. We're going to start off on Tuesday with Quarantined, which is our local teens in Central Oregon talking all things COVID-19. Again, next Tuesday at 7:30, we have Table Talk. We also have 2 fantastic events towards the end of next week. talking with kids about COVID, like what language do you use? How do you help them through grief and loss? How do you help them understand this complex problem? And also on mindfulness skills and things that you can use to deal with the stress and uncertainty that COVID is certainly bringing to all of us. So please join us next week for our live events. Go to our Facebook page to check out the schedule, and you can watch on Facebook or YouTube. I do want to give another small business shout out to our virtual production partner, Matt at Hand in Hand Productions. We couldn't do this without him, so thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
And with that, we'll sign off. Thanks for joining us tonight. We hope to see you again next week.